Cryomix Insert Coin and Complain is being brought to you by Fireclown and Commander Haggis.
Hello and welcome back to Insert Coin and Complain. Today it's going to be a bit different because Commander Haggis is doing an intro. We figured out a way where I didn't have to count, which is great because I can't count. But no,
That was pretty
so I'm
funny, honestly.
I know that's true actually. So I'm Commander Haggis. The other dude is Fireclown,
Hi.
and today we're going to change it up a bit. We've done a lot of tech-heavy stuff, but we're in that period, kind of in Q3 of the year, where everything goes a bit quiet before everyone's like, buy our stuff at Christmas. So we thought we'd talk about randomly, like favorite books, which I think would be quite interesting because we're interested in a lot of different things. So
Yeah,
I
very
think
true.
it'd be quite interesting to see what it is that we've been reading recently or things that you reread. So I'll let you go first. So I suppose all-time favorite book.
Okay, so all time Jesus, there are a lot of books that I really like. One series that I'll always really like because it kind of got me into the fantasy universe and everything would be the Eternal Champion set, which is Elric of Melniboné, Quorum, things like that, Arrakis. So that was written by Michael Moorcock. And the first book I ever read of his was Elric of Melniboné. And it's about a dude who's an albino. He's pretty weak. He's supposed to become like the king of Melniboné or Melniboné, wherever you want to say. Um,
Yeah.
and it's a power struggle because his cousin Yarkun is also trying to like become the king by backstabbingly poison people, kill people, all these different things. And he's also in love with his own cousin as well, which is Elric's love interest. Yeah. Which is Cimoral, or if you're saying it in a different way, Themorial, depending on your pronunciation. Um, so yeah, there's lots of like nasty things going on in that book, lots of like drama and politics as well. Elric he doesn't get banished, but he kind of leaves Melniboné because he's under threat, and he travels like the Young Kingdoms to gain basically an army to come back to claim his right, which is kind of how a lot of those stories go. But it's the way that it's portrayed, it's the way that it's done. Um, One of the biggest things about that book is that, as I said, he's like a weak albino. Um, he's not very strong. He does have sword skills, but he's not incredibly strong. And he finds a sword called Stormbringer, and that Stormbringer sword is alive, so to speak. And whenever he kills someone, it sucks their soul, and that's how Stormbringer is fed. And when he feeds Stormbringer, he also gets energy from Stormbringer to make him really, really powerful himself. But Stormbringer also is not a nice sword. He is quite evil, and there's a lot of things going on in the book with that too. So, yeah, that's probably one of my favorite storylines. And the storyline of Elric is kind of over 6 books, but there is more. But the main arc is over 6 books, and some of the other Eternal Champions from different parallels or planes of existence actually meet up with him in different parts of the books, and also in their books, Elric meets them in their books, and it's all. It gets a bit confusing sometimes for a lot of people, but it's actually a really, really good set of books. Yeah.
Cool. I've read them, so I know what you're talking about. They're very good. They are very good. I'm gonna pick two, and mainly for the same reason. They're books that I can literally finish reading and start reading again. So the first is Dune.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course.
Um, I just love it. There's so many like considering when it was written, the amount of things that Herbert got right in terms of the way people are, like
Hmm.
politically, how things have panned out today. I think for me, it's just still a really, really relevant book, um, and it's great. It's a really good read. It is long,
Hmm.
but yeah, I could finish that, start it again, and then the second one, I suppose, classic, is, Lord of the Rings. I can read Lord of the Rings,
Yeah,
finish, and start again
I
because
can
it's really, really
understand that.
good.
Yeah.
And also I like the way Tolkien writes. I know a lot of people don't, but I like the fact that it's super descriptive. And it just yeah. And again, it's just one of those books where you kind of I think about other things that have been written since in the same genre, and it's still head and shoulders above it in terms of like that, the ability to create a world and make that world real. Like I don't think to be honest, like I think the movies are great, but I think honestly, if you hadn't seen the movies and you've read the book, you're not really missing out on anything. To be like in terms of just understanding that world,
Yeah.
I think like because I like the movies, even though there's a lot of artistic license in them, people whinged about, but I'm like, well, you've got to make that for the screen, right? And it's very difficult to translate a lot of the stuff that happens in Lord of the Rings to the screen without kind of modern ideas of kind of a love interest and all this sort of things and building tension and all the rest of it, which just are pretty much absent in the books. But yeah, they're great, absolutely fantastic. But Dune is, I don't know, it's hard. Like, is Dune better than Lord of the Rings? I don't know. They're on a
Ooh,
par.
they're on
They're
a
on a par.
par, definitely.
I would say definitely. But yeah,
I,
there we go. But I love Elric as well. Like I have read it thanks to you.
See, I think Elric of Melniboné and Michael Moorcock is very niche in a lot of ways because although they're popular in certain groups, they're not massive popular like Frank Herbert's Dune or
Yeah.
otherwise, like Lord of the
Mhm.
Rings. And I think
Mhm.
that's because when Michael Moorcock tried to get video games done or role-playing games done or even movies done, which he's tried to do, he's always had this issue over his rights over the books
Mhm.
because, for example, Chaosism, who are the RPG company, they basically said they're our rights and they've been in contention for the last like 20, 30 years over that. Yeah. And Michael Moorcock's been trying to fight to get the rights back for those
Yeah.
things, and it's been very complicated for him. Whereas Lord of the Rings and Dune,
Well,
they've got the the family societies that are like
I was
got
gonna I
big
was gonna
lawyers and
say
everything
because
to deal with it.
yeah, it's a lot easier for them because essentially the rights are owned by an estate.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're not dealing with the person whose vision it is anymore. You're dealing with a family, and they'll have a different. Although having said that, I know Tolkien's son is heavily involved in it.
yeah,
But I don't really rate what he's written, like filling out that universe, the history of Middle Earth and things like that. I mean, it's good. It's just not the same standard as his father. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that makes it a lot easier. I mean, you just need to look at The Witcher, right?
yeah,
And the issues they've gotten into,
hmm
largely because the author is still alive,
yes,
and a lot of the people who were involved in the project
hmm
just felt like it was drifting too far away from the project. So that transition from like the written word to screen is, yeah, it's always difficult because you just have to accept things are going to have to change in a film setting, right, to make it work.
yeah,
You don't have. I mean, I know films are getting longer, right, but realistically, for 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 a release, like with Lord of the Rings, there's no way they were going to release the extended versions in the cinema back when they released, because people would just be like, "What?
yeah,
You want me to sit in the cinema for 4 hours?" It's
yeah.
like, not
I
a
would,
chance.
I would have.
I would have, like, with an intermission, absolutely, because I know they did re-release them, and that's the way they. When I went to see them when I was living in Edinburgh, that's what the Dominion did. They just had an intermission halfway through, like a half-hour intermission. So it
Yeah,
was great. So it was like a whole afternoon, and you could go and have something to eat and things like that, and come back. It was brilliant. But yeah, I mean, there's just those realities, right? The commercial realities of taking something, and then as well, you've read. I mean, how many times have you read Elric, or how many times have I read Dune? And then
yeah,
you watch it, and you have to watch it with that in mind, like, because there are things like when I saw Dune, I was genuinely blown away. I thought it was a really good adaptation.
is that the new one you mean?
Yeah, the new one,
Yeah,
yeah. But I also said to people, it's like, but it's not Dune. It's not. It,
yeah,
it's broadly the story,
yeah,
but it's obviously been updated. It's been changed. But I think, to be honest, like, of most directors, I think Villeneuve did a really sympathetic adaptation,
Hmm.
um, like much more than Peter Jackson did with Lord of the Rings. Like Lord of the Rings looks amazing. Like I
Yeah.
think he created the world really well,
Hmm.
but in terms of the storyline, like it's broad brush what happens in the book.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
you know it's whereas I think Villeneuve's much closer to the the book, although part three is going to be a bit of an oddity considering how he dealt with Paul's sister and all the rest of it. Be interesting to see where he goes with that. But I'm also looking forward to it, right?
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to be visually spectacular and the sound production is going to be amazing. Yeah, so we kind of drifted off books into movies
Well,
there,
no,
but I
because
suppose same thing.
they
Yeah.
coincide, so it's all good.
Mm.
Because I'm gonna drift off into something else in a second with something else
All
I'm
right.
going to be talking about, another book. But going back to Dune for a second, like obviously you had the 1984 Dune, which was
I love.
I do love that movie.
I
The
love it.
ending, and the only reason the ending is the ending the way it is because David Lynch got told he was not getting a sequel. He got told even
Yeah.
like halfway through filming the movie, no, you're not getting a sequel. It's like
So
what?
you've got to end it. You've got to turn it into
Yeah,
a start, middle, and an end then,
yeah.
which is
So
difficult.
the ending, in a sense, is kind of what happens in something in one of the other books. In a way, it's not. It isn't. But
Mm.
in a way, you could coincide it with something that happens in one of the other books. And yeah, it wasn't his choice to end it like that. But there's
Yeah.
so many cool things in it. Like I really, although the still suits in the books um, are described as more baggy clothes
Mhm.
that have like pipes and pouches in them. The June 1984 version, I really like those still suits. The new still suits, I really like them, but every so often when they're moving in them, it doesn't look quite right. Yeah,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
when
I know what you mean.
and if you look at the television series that they did, although
Mhm.
it's kind of cheesy. It is very cheesy TV in a lot of ways. They tried to do the still suits as they are in the books. So if you look at all the three different iterations, the TV series is the sets of movies and things like that, there's lots of different things that are different in each of the actual media, but they all coincide to make something actually really kind of cool. They are actually all worth watching, and obviously the book is totally worth reading, totally worth reading. And one of the things that blows my mind, I'm not going to try to go into spoilers, but when Paul takes the water of life, yeah,
Yes.
it's completely different in the book than it is in all the
Oh
movies and
yeah.
TV series.
Yeah.
Completely
Right.
and
Hmm.
utterly so different. It's ridiculous.
Hmm.
In the book, it's so different. I won't say what happens in the book, but it's so
Yeah.
different. Yeah,
Totally
which
different.
makes
Totally
makes you kind
different.
of want to read the book. Obviously, I think that's great like that.
Mm.
And talking about Lord of the Rings, I think their iteration of the movies, uh, in a form, does justice to the books. But there's a lot of things I would have
Yeah.
liked to have seen in the movies that wasn't included, like Tom Bombadil, for example.
I think yeah. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because I love The Hobbit. It's actually another book I could reread over and over again. But then I never really understood Jackson's obsession with trilogies, right?
Hmm.
Because I kind of felt like just make The Hobbit, make a 3.5 hour, 4 hour film. Like because by that point people would have gone to the cinema to watch it, right?
Yeah.
And then the things he chose to focus on are interesting. Like there's quite a long section with Bjorn, which I thought was good. Like
Hmm.
it's really good. That's very true to the book. Like he does hate dwarfs. And it's like, but I hate orcs more. It's like literally word for word from the book.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but having said that though, I feel like if I wanted to rewatch something, I'd much rather rewatch the Hobbit trilogy than Lord of the Rings.
Okay, yeah, I understand why. Yeah.
I think it translates to screen much better. Um, it doesn't feel long. Even the extended versions don't feel long. Whereas
Hmm.
some like the final Return of the King is just, oh my god, I just
The
want it to end
ending,
at the
yeah.
end. I'm just like, come on, guys.
The
It's
film with multi endings.
yeah, it's just like, come on. It should have just finished. Like they go to the Grey Havens, done. You know, there's no need for all this kind of like self-indulgent nonsense. Some people might like it, right? I mean, that's just me personally. But yeah, the Hobbit, like the idea of converting it into a trilogy is quite odd. I mean, a lot of this, like obviously the source material is correct. You know, it's the histories have been written and all the rest of it, and these
Yeah.
things were happening, but um, it just felt a bit unnecessary. Although having said that, I'm looking forward to Hunt for Gollum.
There's
That
another
could be
one as
quite
well, remember, that's coming out.
what?
There's two movies that are getting made. So you
Is
got
there?
Hunt for Gollum, and the other one is
I can't remember now.
oh, I can't remember what it's about now. It's it's
I might
after
have to
that's a more
resort to.
it's about Samwise's kid.
Oh
About
yeah, yeah.
it,
That's why I forgot about it because I was a bit like, I'm not. Who
it's about
cares?
it's about Samwise and his family finding out something after Frodo has passed away. Yeah.
Yeah,
And Samwise's daughter finds out a whole bunch of information about how the War of the Ring almost failed and something else is going on in the storyline. That's what the synopsis is, from what I understand.
because there's a. Oh god, I can't remember it now. There is a. Um, Tolkien started writing a book kind of for, I suppose it would be first, second, third, fourth age.
Yeah.
Kind of like after Sauron's completely defeated, blah blah blah. So there is a fourth age book where there are other things happening. But there's not much. He didn't write much of it, and I don't think his sons got any plans to continue it. But it's on. I mean, you can look at it online. The
Yeah.
material's online. It's really well written. It's really interesting. But it's more about like the world of men and corruption and things like that. I haven't read it in years, but it was really interesting.
Yeah.
But to change it completely, but probably still talking about books, but then moving into a different franchise. So the other thing I'm completely obsessed with is Horus Heresy.
Of course.
I love
I
Horus Heresy.
expected you to say this. Yeah.
And then my favorite Horus Heresy book is The First Heretic. I could
hmm
reread that. It's so good, and it explains basically. It's also why I love the word bearers, right? Because it starts to explain how people were being manipulated, like 80 years before, 100 years before, by the word bearers, and the manipulations are really subtle.
hmm
Um, and it's really really good. And then there's a really sad scene at the end where one of the guys who falls to chaos is sat in an assault dropship and suddenly realizes what he's done. He still has part of his humanity, and but he's also like, I can't do anything about it. And that was really sad. But it's so well written. I mean, I think the thing about Horus Heresy is, there are books that are just like filler. Because they're like, oh, we just need to bridge these two parts of this story, and they're not terrible, right? But they're not at the same kind of level in terms of interest and page turner kind of idea. I would say definitely, like, if you haven't read any of them, the first six books, they're all
hmm
amazing. They're a lot, mainly because of that, because it's like the setup and all these other things are happening, and then you've got the drop site massacre, which is just amazing, so good. Um, but yeah, I absolutely love them.
I th-
Absolutely love them.
I think the thing about the 40k universe is that most of the books and most of the stories actually work out really well, and they actually are written
Yeah.
really well too. Um, back,
There's a massive error. There's a massive effort
yeah,
on continuity.
yeah, there is
That's
now.
one thing I
Yeah,
will say about GW is they
I was
take it very
I was
seriously.
going to say 20 years ago they
Oh
didn't
yeah, they
take that
didn't care.
seriously
Yeah,
at
they
all.
didn't.
Like
Well,
Warhammer Fantasy Battle
yeah,
and Warhammer 40k books,
yeah,
they had multiple characters in multiple places all at the same time,
yeah. Yeah.
And it didn't make any sense. That's why the books are so good now, is because they tried to fix all of that. They tried to fix the continuity and also create storylines that people can actually have into proper actual lore. So when people do play the games as well, they can actually fit their battles or fit their storylines, fit their RPGs
Hmm.
into the actual continuity of the actual
Yeah.
storylines now. So which is actually really great. You know, they've done a good job in doing that.
Yeah. 100%.
So
Very, very good.
I'll go into something completely different again then. So you know that I'm a big Mass Effect fan,
Hmm.
and you know how much I also dislike Mass Effect 2 in some
No.
ways, and the end of Mass Effect 3.
Really, do you?
I
I
just
didn't realize you
yeah
didn't
yeah
like it.
I
No.
go on about it quite a lot. So the guys who
Okay.
created Mass Effect, they're creating a new game.
I'd
Okay.
heard about this actually. Yeah.
And I'm so excited for this game. That like I'm so super excited for this game. This is like a day one purchase for me. Okay. It's not getting written by the same guy. The guy who
Hmm.
wrote the very first Mass Effect was Drew Karpyshyn, and
Yeah.
he wrote half of Mass Effect 2, and he went off to Lucas and started writing books. They're legendary books now for the Star Wars series. But the rest of the crew, kinda the ones that have left BioWare, they've set up their own studio and they're creating a book, a book series and also game series called Exodus. And
Very cool.
this here is their first book. Whoop whoop.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can see it. I can
That's
see
their
it.
first book. Yeah,
Hmm.
and it's pretty thick. It's got like a good thickness to it, and that was released last year. This one was just released 2 weeks ago. This is their second one, which is
Very cool.
even thicker, so it's even more storyline, which is great. So the storyline for Exodus is that something happened to the world. I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything. I'm going to try to make it vague as possible because people want to research and learn about it themselves. Um, they something happened to Earth, and so Earth sent lots and lots of arcs, as they called
Hmm.
them, away from Earth to go colonize somewhere else. And it took a long time for those arcs to get to their destinations. And when they got to their destinations, they started rebuilding and things like that on different worlds. And as they started rebuilding on different worlds, time went on. Like, you know, the books go into 40,000 years. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So 40,000 years in the future. And a lot of the humans, humans are now um, uh, evolved. They've evolved, they've changed, they've manipulated DNA, you know, all these different things. And they are basically different races of humans, you could say. And then all of a sudden, like 40,000 years later, another arc pops up because, you know, not all they all travel at different speeds they do, but another arc pops up. And that's kind of where the story kind of lies, is where the humans, the actual humans, are on this arc because they've been going faster than light travel, so it's slower for everything else. Blah blah blah. I won't go into it because that'll just be mind-bogglingly for a lot of people.
Hmm.
But basically, they had only left, like, you know, Earth not that long ago, so to speak, in their minds. Yeah, but 40,000 years have passed in reality because of space-time differentials and stuff. So they're still human. And so all the rest of the humans and all the rest of the proto-humans, you could say, or evolved humans, look down on them because they are literally just human. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the base of what the story kind of lays out, which is really interesting to me. And when you look at what they're doing with books, they've released two nice large books for you to get lots of lore, which is going to, you know, follow on to the video game. And the video game, you basically play a character that is got a partner. I'm not quite sure if it's love partner or not love partner. It just depends
Mm.
on how you look at it. And you end up having to leave her behind, and you end up going into faster than light. So you stay the same age, and everybody else gets older. And when you arrive back at the planet, everybody's older. The planet's kind of built up a little bit better, all these different things from where you've actually landed in the first place from the arc. And the idea of the gameplay is that you're going out and meeting all these different other alien races, proto-humans or evolved humans, and there's enemies and everything out there that are going to come after you. But you're going out to try to find things so you can bring back to the planet so they can have, like, build up and things like that. But you're always going faster than light travel. So everybody on the planet is getting older, you're staying younger, and you have to choose your party of who you wish to take with you. And as you choose the party that you take with you, you might have 10 party members that you might have a choice of. You can only take 3 of them with you. The rest of them will get older. So by the time you
Yeah.
actually get back to the planet, those people are older. So are you going to choose them before they get too old and die? Or are you going to stick with the same ones? All these different things. And in the books, they kind of go into things like that. And I just think that's a really good, interesting way of writing books like that. Rather
Hmm.
than having stargates or, well, like, I like Stargate obviously, but stargates or wormholes or folding space. It's literally trying to go into the dimensions of faster than light travel, or close to faster than light travel, should I say, because it's what 99.9% of faster than light travel, is it, or something like that, so you can get that
Hmm.
speed. um so
Potentially, yeah.
yeah, potentially something like
Theoretically.
that. Yeah, theoretically. So you're like, it goes into all those different factors rather than instant travel. So that makes
Mhm.
everything that you do in the game a consequence, and everything that happens in the book is a consequence because of that too. And I think
Yeah.
that's actually really great. When you've got consequences like that, you've got good drama. You don't have just drama for drama's sake.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And then I suppose, uh, kind of.
Sorry, did I distract you?
No, no, no. I was just thinking about other books, moving away from kind of fantasy, sci-fi. What other things do I love? Um, I mean, there's so many books. I read a lot,
Hmm.
but probably I think if you want to understand.
Networking for dummies doesn't count, by the way.
No, I know, I know. No, like if you want to understand the futility of war, I think All Quiet on the Western Front is
Mm,
amazing.
yeah, yeah,
Very, 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 very short book, but very powerful.
yeah.
The opposite end of that is again a German author, Das Boot.
Hmm.
Very long book, but kind of chronicles his time on a submarine. Because he wasn't a submariner. He was a, oh God, what did they call him? He was essentially embedded. He was like a press officer. It's like a propaganda thing that Hitler used to do. But he wrote it after the war, obviously, because he couldn't write it during the war because he'd have been put up against a
Yeah.
wall and shot. Um, but absolutely fantastic books. Both of them are fantastic books, really well written.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sorry, there's so many, and
Yeah,
then
there's a lot of different
yeah,
types of books that you can go into, because
yeah.
obviously you got your sci-fi, your fantasy, all the fiction stuff. You've also got,
Mhm,
obviously, the real life stuff that you're talking about.
mhm.
That is good historical books. Unfortunately, there are some governments that don't like history, and they try to rewrite it. Won't go into that.
Like
Um,
all governments. It's like, no,
yeah,
no, we never did that. What are
and
you talking
then,
about?
like, you do have, like, the books that coincide with, as we're talking about video games and
Yeah.
movies and all those different things. Um, it just depends on, what you're interested in as well,
Hmm.
because we're quite broad in our nature and what we actually do like, and we actually read a load of different
Hmm.
genres, and it just depends. Like, I will also pick up manga books and anime books.
Yeah.
I have
I know.
a full written uh set of books for, like, battle royale, for example. Yeah.
Yes.
He's going for books. Wait,
Just
what do you
when
got?
just when you said manga, like
Oh yeah.
my partner's son bought me the One Punch Man
Nice.
series.
See, One Punch,
Yeah.
again, amazing set of books and also amazing
Yeah.
TV series. I love One Punch Man. So good.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Um and they're Japanese as well, so you read them back to front.
You read them back to front.
Which kind of really, I was like, what? And then I suddenly realized, oh yeah, you read it. It's in English, right? But it's printed in the way it would be printed in Japan, which
That's
I quite
correct,
like.
yeah.
But yeah, I still need to read these. I think I'm halfway through the first one. But I absolutely love them. They're so good.
Yeah, they're actually really good. I've got the full Death Note series. I've got the full Babylon series.
Yeah.
Battle Royale series. As I said, I've got the novelization of the Battle Royale as well.
Yeah.
I've I never picked them all up, unfortunately, but they did start a Labyrinth series, which is set after
Oh.
the movie, which is
Yeah,
when
yeah.
Toby is actually a young boy. He's like 15. Yeah. And the
Ah.
Goblin King is, the Goblin King was a bit of a spoiled
What?
little brat anyway. Yeah, you
Yeah,
could say.
yeah.
So the Goblin King's like, I don't want to be the Goblin King anymore. And so he basically takes Toby into the world of the labyrinth and goes, "You're the Goblin King now,
You're the
bye."
Goblin King now.
And
I'm
he
out.
he runs off and leaves Toby like, the Goblin King. Where am I? What's going on? Because he doesn't know what's going
I
on.
know. Don't have
Yeah.
a clue what's going on.
And unfortunately, I never got all those books, but those were done by Tokyo Pop. They're brilliant. They're so good.
I know. Well,
Oh,
I've got so many
he's going
things.
for more books.
I've got loads of. That's the problem, right? I've got so much stuff. Oh, here we go. Oh, here's a good one. So much stuff lying around. My God. What is this? Is it in here?
Oh, you got Punisher. Is that Punisher?
Oh yeah, here we go. So much better. The boys.
The boys. Okay, yeah.
Much better than the TV series. If
Yeah.
you actually want to have a laugh, read this.
Yeah.
Way better. This is brilliant as well. It's Marvel, but it's Neil Gaiman. 1602.
1602 is a very good book. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. The whole series. I think I've got all of them apart from one. Oh no, and these are rule books. You don't want to see rule books.
That's one thing. Sadly, Neil Gaiman is not the most popular name at the moment because of the issues that he's facing
Yeah.
in the court stuff.
Brilliant author though. Brilliant author.
Yeah, he's done a great stuff. I am a massive fan of The Sandman. I've got all the Sandman books, including the extra books and everything on the site.
Yeah, I like the books. I like the books. I hate the series. It's just kind of.
It was okay.
It was just a bit of a letdown.
It was okay. I won't say it was The Sandman, but it was okay. But one series of graphic novels I would recommend to everybody is the Fable series. That is probably one of my favorite series. It's about basically all the fables that you can think of: Snow White, Red Rose, Humpty Dumpty. Oh God, I can't even think off the top of my head. Which is really bad. The Big Bad Wolf, Little Red Riding Hood. All the fables that you could ever think of. Pinocchio even. They come to the Earth realm, so to speak, because their fable world is being destroyed and taken over by an enemy, and that's basically what they call him, is the enemy.
We've got more books. Keep talking.
He's going off more books, and the whole idea is that they live in basically a small little part of a city, and in that city they've made their own homes, but the fables themselves have gotten themselves into trouble there. They've using the Big Bad Wolf as the sheriff. There's like a mayor of Fabletown who is corrupt and everything like that. So there's loads of intricate stories, political drama, and you're also trying to figure out while you're reading the books what has actually happened in Fabletown, and finding out that it's not Fabletown, the Fable world, and it's not as simple as you think. And those books are amazing. I would recommend them so much. I'll talk about something else in a second because you're.
I know, and also like you just don't watch MCU because it's terrible. Read stuff like this instead. Original Sin.
Oh yeah,
amazing. Absolutely. I've forgotten how many comics I've got in like anthologies and things like that, but it's just so much better. Like I don't mind MCU's okay, right? Like if that's your thing, fine. I'm not gonna hate on it too much, but these are just the books are so much better.
Yeah.
Like they're just so much better.
Um,
Which is why I'm loving X-Men 97 because it's very much
X-Men
like
97 is so good.
written. It's the first episode's cringe, right? Because you've got to get used to it again, and then
Yeah.
you're like, actually, this is really, really good.
Storyline's gone really, really brilliant actually as well.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
so
And it's
freaking
like,
good.
and it's written in the way that it was written in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of got to get past that, but the storyline's epic.
The
It's so I
storyline's
nearly swore.
brilliant.
The storyline is brilliant. Anyway,
Uh,
I'll let you finish off because
I-
we're probably
I'll finish off with
getting towards the
one
end.
more,
Yeah.
which is another graphic novel series, which I really love, and it's called Saga. And it's basically a love story in a way, yeah, but it's told from the point of view of the daughter of the people who the love story's about, yeah.
Mm,
And she tells the story about her parents and things like that, and what actually happens, and how they got together. And there's
yeah.
like it's set in a sci-fi world or sci-fi universe where one world is fighting against a moon and they're always in perpetual war, and it's two people on either side that basically come together and they actually find out that they love each other, and the war is completely pointless.
Yeah.
And they end up having a kid, and that's kind of what it's about. And I'm not joking, that's what it's about. But there's lots of sci-fi elements to it. There's
Oh
lots
yeah. There's
of
stuff happening all the time.
crazy
Yeah.
stuff going on in the universe constantly. There's bounty hunters coming after them, and some of the bounty hunters don't even know why they're going after them.
Hmm.
There's like a royal family that are like humanoid, but they've got screens, television screens for their heads. Yeah. So one of the characters, for example, is called Princess Robot the Third. Yeah. Um, and you've also got like some other characters that you would not expect. Like you've got a character called the Lion Cat, and he's paired up with a bounty hunter called the Will. The Will, that's what he's called, and he uses the Lion Cat to basically find out if anybody's lying, and it's hilarious the way that he does it. It's like people are talking to him, and all you get in the background is Lion Cat going lying constantly. And then Will is like, shouldn't have lied to me, buddy, type of attitude, and then bad things happen. So it's like it's a brilliant set of books. That's another
Yeah.
set that I would completely recommend. They're so good. You can
Yeah.
get them in omnibus versions as well now.
Yeah. Oh, there's just so many. I was just looking up there, and I've just got like Civil War. Like,
Yeah.
don't watch the Civil War film; it's terrible. Like, Civil War book's amazing. Yes, he does die for real. Uh,
For realsies.
for realsies, for keepsies. I mean, Watchmen, amazing. There's
Watchmen
so
is so
many,
good.
and then like there's so many other amazing books. Like, because I'm really into climbing, and so like Touching the Void, the White Spider. Just there's a whole world of stuff out there. But I mean, I kind of think like I think we've given people a good kind of summary of
Hmm.
how broad the things are that we kind of read and how disparate they are. Like at the moment, I'm just reading loads of economics books because I'm really interested in economics.
Yeah, yeah.
From a left wing perspective. Funnily enough,
So
um,
funny that you said Into the Void, and it reminded me of another book that I really like as well, which is
yeah.
John Dies at the End. You heard
Oh
of
yeah,
that?
yeah,
They did
yeah. I
make a
have.
movie of it as well,
Yeah,
and it's basically about a guy who finds like this goop by mistake, and it kind of opens his mind to all the actual things that are going on in the world.
yeah,
I won't say too much about it, but there's an element of him. It's a comedy. It's all comedy
mm,
stuff, but there's elements of sci-fi in there and also parallel worlds and things like that too.
yeah.
And then on top of that, there was a sequel made. This book is full of spiders. So I would also recommend those two books too. Yeah,
Very good.
there's just so many books. There are so many
I
books that
know.
you can read. Yeah,
There's so many books. I think that's a good. I think that's a good place to stop before we end
yeah.
up just like
We'll end up revisiting this, I presume.
cataloging everything we've ever read. But I think it's giving me an idea for next time. I think next time we should probably talk about like what's your favorite um like RPG or
That'd be a good one, yeah.
tabletop game.
Yeah.
We both played a lot, and I
Mm-hmm.
mean a lot of varying things, and across a lot of editions as well, right? So you kind of
Yeah.
think like you might not like this edition, but in general, how is the gaming system held up? How is the writing held up? Because you leave things, you go back to them. It's just like video games. Tabletop games are no different. They go through phases where some things are like the meta, if you want. It's like, oh, everyone's writing about this. We have to incorporate some mechanic about this.
Yeah.
And some of them stay and some of them die, right? And that's just the way it is. But it was good. I enjoyed that. It was a good conversation. Nice to be not too much moaning, not too much
No,
complaining.
no.
A lot of inserting coins.
Yeah, inserting the coins, getting those books, and
Yeah,
then you complaining about the MCU.
I will always complain about the MCU.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I just will.
you're
I
not a
just
big
think
fan.
it's not that I'm not a big fan. I think they just totally. I think it could have been a lot better.
In a lot of ways, it
Um,
could have been, yeah.
but I also understand the
There's
decisions that they made because
the
it's
restrictions.
it's about it. Well, restrictions and also why are they doing it? They're doing it to make money,
Oh
so
yeah,
they
of
need
course they
to
are.
appeal to the broadest
See,
base.
I would agree
You know.
with you on there, but they missed a trick because if you look at the DC Arrowverse, yeah,
Oof.
they had so many cool stuff happening in there. They had like
Yeah,
freaking Planet X and or X Dimension, should I say, and they also had like I think it was like
I
20
think
or 30 superheroes working together
yeah,
in one of the biggest crisis
yeah.
series. And they also had the crossover with all the Flashes,
Mhm.
all the Supermen. Like if they could have had Christopher Reeves in there, they'd have had them in there. He was actually in the series at one point.
But I think the thing about DC and Marvel in general is just like in terms of kind of like commercialization. I think Marvel have been a lot more successful than DC. DC just continually go through. I think the problem with DC is
The
they
DC
can't decide what it wants to be.
Yeah, the DC movies do not
Yeah,
coincide. The DC
that's it.
Arrowverse was the best thing that actually DC's ever done. Apart from the animations are top
Oh, the
notch.
animations are
The
very, very good.
animations are
I will
amazing.
I will agree with you there. The animations are
Yeah,
on par with some of the
they're brilliant.
the best anime I've watched. Like it's very well animated. They think a lot about the scripting,
Yeah.
the continuity. Like they're not just thrown together.
No.
But yeah, I think if DC could get their act together in terms of, even if it was like TV and cinema are completely disconnected and TV is, we're gonna aim it at kind of family viewership if you want. Like, let's make something that kind of teenagers plus can watch with their families. And then the movies are completely like this is source material accurate, and
Yeah.
Batman is horrible and dark, and you're probably not gonna like him. Like a lot of the DC, because a lot of the DC guys are anti-heroes, right? They're not. It's not like Marvel. Marvel's it's comic book, right, for a reason.
Yeah.
I always kind of feel like DC is a lot more like Watchmen.
Yeah. DC's more
It's
death
it's
destruction.
it's it's dark,
Yeah.
and they deal a lot more with those problems, like the kind of that for want of a better phrase, people are not very nice
Yeah.
in general. I was gonna swear, I was gonna use a Scottish swear word there that probably wouldn't have gone down well.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what you're
Anyway,
talking
I think
about.
we should leave it
Yeah,
there.
we'll leave
I've
it there.
done quite well.
Thanks for joining us, and we will be back next week.
We will indeed. Bye
Bye
for now.
bye.